This is my last film for World Autism Awareness Week because this is the last day of it. I've only made 3. And I just wanted to say that as an elder autistic, or an autistic elder, I come from a different world. I started in a different universe in working class Liverpool and now live in southeast London. And I'm very aware of having passed through many places, lived and known many places and many people. And what you learn as an autistic person is that although you can move on to evolve, you can also move on to handle, but it's not the same as being an authentic autistic person. And now, for these many years, over 20 years, I've been out and known what I was. I find it incredible as I go further back into my life that I wasn't outed. But the truth is, there just plain wasn't enough wrong with me to label me as having any particular condition. So that doesn't mean you don't suffer. It's suffered every day in different ways, but you accepted the suffering, and in some ways still do. I find it incredible now that all these young autistic people take for granted reasonable adjustments and being able to assert their own vulnerability and their own needs as well, and their own obsessions, and assert their own unique identities, because all I've ever had is people sooner or later catching me out and picking on me because I would have my own idiosyncratic nature. I'd have my own unique way of thinking, of feeling, of talking, which was seen as either you're of low intelligence or you were just plain stupid, or they didn't actually have many other options apart from you're insane. And that obviously wasn't insane, because there I would be in different situations that people would find me, ordinary situations, be it work, play, job, Buddhist movements, pubs, clubs, anywhere where people meet someone like me. It's always the same common denominator, universal human relating, and I would seem weird because if I wasn't coping, I was just trying to relate to people on my own terms all the time. I did make a huge effort in my life to relate on other people's terms. But what I read when I read about other autistic people, it's always the same. We have our own way of doing things. We have our own way of feeling. We have our own experience. And you talk about sensory issues, or having a condition that makes you think and feel and behave in certain ways, and how you relate to environments and other people is due to a condition. Well, I just see it as a personality. I always have. I always see it as a character. And it's a very unique character to each of us, an individual. And I find that using that as a cipher of how to relate to neurodivergent people who neurodiverge from the neurotypical, which is in itself a neurodiverse body of people, everybody. I find that relating in those ways works perfectly well. And I just want to quote something I was talked about years ago. I walked from Kentish Town to Camden Town wearing my Neurotypicals Weird t-shirt. As I was starting my walk, I hear a banging on my left-hand side, and I look around. There at the back, at the bottom of the bus, is a young woman banging both fists on the window, and then she gives me a double thumbs up because she's seen my t-shirt. And then I walk past another woman who says, yes, they are weird. And then another woman who says, I like your t-shirt. And then finally I meet 2 women at Camden Town. One of them's come all the way from Austria. Visit London, and she's on the spectrum. She gets to talking to me. That's 4 people in 20 minutes. That's what's going on. You can hear all the noises in the background. That's life. That's life. You can hear a train. The train is far away from where we're living. The birds are singing, the wind is blowing. That's the real world. It's not some sterile antiseptic recording in a nice quiet space. And that's very much my life. I don't know. I mean, this year I'm going to do my shows again, and I'd like to do more around being an autistic elder and being the kind of autistic you could drop out of a bomber onto the Glastonbury Festival and you'd have a good time. I really want to walk around the Glastonbury Festival wearing my t-shirts. and see what happens. Anyway, 2 stand-ups. April 13th, I'm on the Barons Court Theatre. There are 5 of us on the Barons Court Theatre. Really good acts. Becky Jade is on, and the godfather of the whole thing, Don Biswas, is on, and a few others, groovy comedians, are going to be on. Please come and see us. And then on the 16th, I'm on Laugh Able for 10 minutes, and on the 30th, I'm doing a benefit. Just keep an eye on Mark Nicholas. Lots of groovy, very good comedians who are all on the spectrum. And may you be happy and well, and may you be beautiful.